All right, and I'm back. So let's see here. I fixed a few things, and we have one little outstanding issue with inputs. And that's the ability to get the correct look input from either the mouse or the controller. Movement works, and we'll demonstrate that here in just a second. So select, start a level, and okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pause that. I'm gonna mute the sound on that real quick. So, okay, let's look at my logs here. Alright, let's see. So I'm getting... Alright, I've got some... Ooh. Getting some errors on some callbacks for the inputs. Alright, so... Valid operation exception, nullable object, must have a value. And this is on player input line 79. So that is on this input devices where I'm trying to get, trying to figure out what the current, gonna do current on here. No. Control schemes dot see, I'm trying to figure out what device the input is coming from. So I'm reading the vector 2. Input action type. Let's see. Active control. See what that gives us. So we'll clear this. Hit play. Load a level in. Okay, now I'm not moving anything. Okay, so if I move the mouse, I get a whole bunch of debugs. It's giving me a vector 2. So if I go down here, let's see. So now if I grab, I've got my Xbox controller, and if I press the right stick, I get different types of values. So on the mouse, I'm actually getting a larger positive and negative value. And it is a vector in relation to, I think, the center of the screen. No, it's a direction. It's just a direction value. So, okay, if I use my left stick, you can see that I can move my tank around, and if I pull the trigger, On the controller, I can fire. I can also click with the mouse to fire, and aiming with the mouse works sometimes, and aiming with the joystick works never. And yeah, so pause works though. Unfortunately, it does not select the resume button automatically when I pause. I need to set that up, but we'll worry about that later. Okay, so I'm getting two different types of values. You know what? Let me look at those values again. Well, no, I don't need to do that. I'm getting positives and negatives. So let's look at my code. Oh, actually, does it give me those names? It'll be clear at the top because I have everything on. Okay, either way, it's a delta. I think that's what it is. Yeah, delta is going to be the name. It's not going to tell me specifically which device. But I do know that either way, I'm getting a positive or negative value. Alright, let's clear that. Okay, so my get turret movement is getting called from this. Oh, by the way, if you happened to see the end of the live stream from earlier, which is up on YouTube now. I had messed up my player input and tank controller scripts. Went back, fixed those. I fixed the player prefab and enemy prefab objects. I got all the methods hooked up where they're supposed to go. So the one issue right now, this is all fine. So what happens is when the controller left stick or the mouse is moved, when we're in game and not in the menu, we get this on aim method is called from the player action interface, and then it calls this get turret movement. Get turret movement calls an on move turret event, or fires an on move turret event, and then invokes it and passes in this get aim direction. So the get aim direction returns a vector 2. Now this is not what was here before. It was let me just cut that. It was something like input dot mouse position, which just returns a vector 2, but that returns the mouse position in pixel coordinates, not a vector. So what I need to do differently so on the tank controller, when we handle turret movement, we're passing in that pointer position. That's what we're passing in. So maybe I need to fix this. Maybe this needs to work differently, because I'm not passing in an exact pointer position anymore. I'm passing in Or maybe I still want the pointer position. I just have to figure out how to get it with the new... Well, no, because if I'm using the mouse, I have a pointer position. If I'm using the controller, I don't have a pointer position. I just have a delta. So I do need to change the way this works. So this should be something like aim delta. So I need to refigure this, not this. So here I can pass in I could actually just return that delta value. The input player aim read vector 2. I could just do that right here. And I don't need this method at all. Right? So in my tank controller then, why do I have extra white space here? I need to get a turret direction of that actually could just be that aim delta. I'm gonna comment that line out, duplicate it, remove this, and just say turret direction equals... Actually, I'm not even going to do that. I'm going to leave that commented out. I'm going to change turret direction to aim delta. And I'm going to try that. LTTstore.com. Sorry, couldn't help myself. Okay. Play. Select level. Okay. We have an up and down. And we have a very, very slow left and right. So it's moving with the mouse. Maybe my mouse needs to be locked to the screen for that to work. What about this? Joystick's not working either. Okay, so that didn't fix anything. Let me see. There's got to be a different way to do this. So alright, so let's undo this, and then let's do aim delta here, and uncomment this, and see what happens. See, I don't think that's gonna work, because the transform position... I need to do this differently if delta is a certain size or not, I think. Because basically I'm handling... Yeah, I'm not doing this same thing. Also my indentations are messed up on this file as well. Let me think. I don't know why I got a stupid cough all of a sudden. Yeah, like the body movement is easy for whatever reason. So like it handles, there's a rotation handled in a fixed update, but that's like a whole other thing. So the turret base rotation is equal to quaternion dot rotate towards turret base dot rotation quaternion dot Euler 00 target angle and a rotation step. The rotation step, I think, I'm gonna get rid of that, is, no, it's not assigned up here, it's in here. So rotation step is turret speed times time dot delta time. That's okay. So the turret angle is a math a tan 2 of current direction, turret direction dot y, turn direction dot x. There's math f dot radian to degrees. But see, before I was passing in coordinates and I was getting a direction of coordinates minus the transform dot position. And I really feel like this direction should just be this aim delta. What if we do transform dot position plus aim delta? That doesn't work. Oh wait, nope, this, because this needs to be over here. Okay. Maybe? Nope, it's still janky. And the left stick doesn't work either. Interesting. Okay, one second. I'll turn my heater down. The furnace kicked on. Let's see. So, and you can probably hear that in my mic too. Sorry about that. Let's see. So, I need to do some either Google or ChatGPT stuff. So, I'm going to pop open this and let's just do, actually I'm just gonna slide that up there and turn on my browser And I'll just transition that over there for you. Okay. I think we're... Yeah, we can actually just move that over like so. There you go. Alright. So let's open a new window and let's just try Google first. Okay, so Unity, you know what? Let's not, just for the fun of it. Oh crap, I forgot I gotta log into that. I'm not gonna do that right now. Okay, so actually, why does it not have me logged into that? Hang on one second. Alright, there we go. Okay, so Unity, new input system. Let's actually talk to it like a person. So I'm changing over from Unity's legacy input system to the new input system in an old project. I got everything working except rotating a turret with mouse movement or controller input from left stick, right stick. Not that it should matter. Okay. The old way used an input of, used this method, but the input was a mouse coordinate in pixels. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to copy our code from here. We're just going to take this method, paste it in here, except I modified that. Let's undo our modifications. Okay. Let's copy that and we'll overwrite this. Pointer, let's do pointer position. Okay, so what they're saying to do is get turret input. Yeah, they completely ignored the fact that I'm not using the old input system anymore. Yeah, that's basically exactly what I just gave them that I was already doing. Yeah, no. Let's see if they do something different. Handle turret movement, vector 2, input, target angle, target rotation, 0, 0, base rotation. So they're saying oh, wait a minute. Help if I could type. Clarify that this is a 2D game. I don't think it changed anything. So a vector 2 input. I'm not worried about any of this stuff. So it's saying to calculate the angle here based on that input, which basically means I don't need this turret direction. I just need the angle, target angle, which is that input, which we were going to call aim direction, which would be aim direction dot y and aim direction dot x. I hope I finish typing the thing. Oh, sorry, I have you guys covered up. There we go. Transition. All right, and then aim direction dot y times math f dot radian degrees, and then rotate the turret towards the thing. Rotation step is, yeah, but it's saying that, oh wait, I am using 0, 0 over here. Turret base dot rotation equals oh, I think I know what the problem is. This was getting called in an update, so this was rotating smoothly. And it's not doing that anymore. Now we do have a turret speed in here, but we're not really using that, are we? So up here we did except this still isn't being called in an update method either. So this is basically allowing the turret rotation to be as fast as the no, that shouldn't matter. See, it actually looks like this should work. I have a turret speed actually. I don't remember what it's set to, but I have one. This is still doing the same basic thing. At target angle, math, f dot, ATN2, input, y, input x. That's still basic, same basic thing. We have the binding. Unless we need to change a setting on that binding. I'm going to save that. Not that. This. And I'm going to run it again just to see if it changed anything. I think I wound up putting that right back where I just had it. Yeah, I need to go through all my menu settings and add a method call to set the wonder if it's almost like it is trying to go, it's just very slow, and it's like I have a dead spot in the controller. It's kind of weird. See, it's like this moves way too fast. And doesn't quite work right. And the controller moves way too slow. So I need to normalize this somehow. Yeah, that's not working. So, I don't know how long you've been there, but hello to whoever's lurking. I see my viewer count increased by 1. Feel free to say hi. Sorry, I'm just kind of troubleshooting right now. Working on this, getting this new input system to work with this game and getting this turret rotation on my little tank to work correctly. So, yeah, so this should, wherever I move the mouse to, or a joystick on a controller, which I've got right here, it should smoothly rotate the tank turret towards the direction I push the stick on the controller or towards wherever I point the mouse at, and it is not functioning properly. I think I'm going to take a look at this input actions and see if there's something that I can fix on here. Let's see. So my aim, I have right stick on the gamepad, and actually the aim, okay, so the aim is just a vector 2 value. Oh, I wonder if I should normalize it. And I wonder if I should scale it. No. Probably just normalize. Let's try that. Wonder if normalize works. It's like it only moves if, so the mouse moves it kind of fast, I think. And it just continues to move in the direction. Yeah, see, I feel like I need different control methods for if I have the mouse or the controller. So with the mouse, see, the old system took mouse coordinates. The new one takes a vector 2 that's just like a direction, like it'll either be positive, 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 negative, 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 positive, whatever. And the numbers vary. Oh, I know one thing else. I didn't save that after I added the normalized vector 2. So let's try it again. That would explain why that didn't make a difference. And to whoever happens to be listening, if you could let me know how my volume is, if I need to make any kinds of adjustments. Let's see. Yeah, okay, normalizing. Yeah, see, as long as I continue to move the mouse in that direction, it will aim that way. And it flips the turret around very quickly. It's like half working. It's like the mouse moves it somewhat quickly, and then the controller moves it extremely slowly. And it seems like the dead zones on the controller affect it as well. So that didn't work. what that's about either. Alright, let me think. So... Alright, where did my screen go? We're gonna go up here. I'm just going to mute my desktop volume, and I'm gonna search a YouTube video for how to fix this. So I might be kind of just sitting here for a few minutes. Fix Unity input system conversion for rotating tank turret. That's probably has nothing to do with anything. I guess if you want to see what I'm looking at here, I can throw that up. Don't know what input error that's even referring to. This one's got something in it about controlling a tank. So we'll maybe look at that. Let's see. Using angle calculations to move. That's from 4 years ago. That is probably not using the new input system. It's an AI turret. That's a lot easier than what I'm doing now. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on here. My Twitch UI says I have 2 viewers, but if I go to my little chat box and click users in chat, I get a much larger list. So I don't know what that's about, but yeah, my Twitch UI still says I only have 2 viewers. So okay, I don't know, whatever. Alright, back to what I was doing. Let's see. Tank movement. See, there. Ironically, there's the tutorial that I actually used to help me build this game 2 years ago. But that uses the old input system. Let's see. That's from 3 years ago, so that's... I don't know if that has to do with the new input system or not. Let's see. Okay, so let's try this. Let's see. Oh, that's loud. Well, for me, you guys should not be able to hear it. Yeah, let's skip to moving the turret. That's the tank movement. It's using the old input system. Okay, that's not what we're looking for. Let's see. Wonder if this is... Nope, not helpful, and also very, very loud. Let's try this again. Unity input system. Why would I want AI stuff for the input system? YouTube, are you broken? Alright, let me consider some other thing here. So, fix all those indentations. My tank controller has a fixed update that does it fixes the rotation on the tank body for movement, and we just update the movement vector with the input that we get from this, which does see, now this doesn't have a, I don't think I even need a reference to the game manager in this script anymore. So my turret movement says on move turret, invoke, and pass in input player aim read value vector 2. What if I normalize it there? Which that should be the same effect as what I did before. So before I was passing in a pointer position and I was subtracting the transform position, and then I was passing in or taking that direction as a vector 3. It's getting a target angle, and then I calculated a rotation step based on time.delta time and the turret speed that I set in the properties. And then I did turret base dot rotation is a quaternion dot rotate towards turret base dot rotation at this towards this angle in this much step. I wonder if, yeah, see, I feel like I had, there was something, what is my rotation angle set at, or speed? Oh, sorry, you're staring at the stupid browser because I forgot to switch my scene. Okay, so, and I've also got black fuzzies over here in my light. It's extremely bright on my face, but okay. I've got turret speed set to 120. Uh, hmm. I've got an eyebrow hair floating. I have no idea. What is going on with this input? Okay. Rotation axis should align with Z axis if you're rotating in 2D space. Set the current base pivot point. Sure the turn. It worked with the old input system. Okay, the input values are different for I'm just typing in ChatGPT. Different for a mouse and a controller. The Turret base is correct. Worked with the old input system fine. It's still just telling me use this turret base equals quaternion dot Euler. Let's try that without the actual rotation thing. I would rather have it rotate smoothly, but we'll try this. Okay, so go back to my tank controller. Wait, why am I? Oh, because this gets called from a Unity event, that's why. So target angle equals this. So instead of quaternion dot rotate towards, we're gonna say it equals just quaternion dot Euler and skip the rotation step. Let's see if that changes a thing. Nope, it's very erratic. It's interesting. It's like it's going back to, it's like it's trying to snap back to a position. So this works with the controller now, as long as, but if I let go, it returns to its last, or to its default angle. Okay. So I understand what the controller's doing. So when I let off the controller stick and it goes to 0, 0, it returns to that 0 vector, which has the gun pointing to the right. However, with the mouse, okay, I think I know what the problem is. I think I need to cache the target angle. No, because it's still going to update that target angle when I let off the controller. So why then was No, I know why. I know why. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. I think I might have figured this out. So let's put this stuff back. And then what we're going to do is say if aim direction dot magnitude is greater than 0.1, we'll try that first. And I'm going to put my turret speed back up to where it was. Actually, I'm going to bump it up just a little more even, because 120 was a little slow. Where'd it go? I closed it. Okay, so it goes, it's smooth, but it's fast. And I don't exactly like how the mouse works. So the mouse, I still really want to get mouse coordinates instead of the controller input. Or instead of the delta input from the mouse. So this then, ooh, the joystick's working now. I had to get it to stop registering when the joystick was at like 0. But the joystick works. Okay, I think this last thing that ChatGPT gave me is actually helpful. So it did a, there's an else if. So we can get that input angle if it's greater than whatever, but if we now see, this doesn't make sense though, because they're actually, oh no, they're getting the, wait, no, that's still the magnitude. Mouse delta equals mouse delta target angle mouse delta dot y dot x. Yeah, it doesn't act like they're doing anything different for the mouse. I feel like my turret speed needs to be half as much. Let's actually try that. Yeah, kinda. Not really. So if I move my mouse really quickly across the screen, it doesn't continue to rotate towards it. I think I need to do a mouse delta check in the update. No, not really. Actually, I think I need to separate the mouse controller in the mouse. The mouse controls in that input manager or input actions. So I need to do controller aim, and I need to do a mouse aim. And then I can check for those values independently. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to duplicate this, and I'm going to call this aim mouse, and I'm going to call this aim controller, and I'm going to take this right stick, and I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to take the mouse, and I'm going to put it under aim mouse. Or, well, actually, no, all I had to do is delete this sticks. Now I have an extra one of those. Okay, there we go. So we're going to save that. And then what I'm going to do is go back into my code. And I already have this aim direction that I'm passing in. So what I need to do is two different functions here. So my Okay, yeah, the input for the mouse needs to be a different thing. It doesn't need to be a vector 2. It needs to be well, it can be a vector 2. Kinda. I think we're just going to detect mouse input, and then we still got to figure out how to get the mouse coordinates. Okay. How do I back into ChatGPT? How do I get mouse? Let's see. How do I get screen coordinates for the mouse with the new input system? Mouse current position read value. This method returns a vector 2 representing the position of the mouse cursor on the screen. Mouse current position dot read value. Okay, So I have aim controller and aim mouse. So what I'm going to do is, in my code, not here, I'm actually going to make so this handle turret movement is actually getting called from an event. That's a problem, because the turret movement is invoking this method, and then okay, here's what we're gonna do. Scratch. Actually, that normalized might have been helping. I'm not sure. We're gonna scratch that for now. We can add it back if we need it. So I'm gonna pass in not just that vector 2. I'm gonna pass in. Let me think. If I how can I differentiate if I'm getting movement from the mouse or the thing without having different controls? So actually, you know what? Since I updated this asset, first of all, I need to save it. Second of all, I need to once I've done that, I gotta, it actually should update this. So yeah, I have to implement the new, what am I looking for? New interface method, right? And it's gonna throw this on aim controller and on aim mouse methods. And I have on aim so what I want to do is overwrite that, and I'm going to make another new method down there. So I'm going to do, I have what, get turret movement. I'm going to do get turret movement mouse, and I'm going to do in this one get turret movement controller. Okay, this one works with the controller. I can't spell, but so there's that. And then with the mouse one, private get or private void get turret movement mouse, and we're going to say on move turret dot invoke, and we're going to pass in the mouse coordinates. But here's what we have to do then. So we've get turret movement controller, get turret movement mouse. And then why? Oh, there. So we're going to invoke this method, but we're going to pass in what I say, mouse dot current dot position, mouse dot current dot position dot read value. And that should handle that. So now what we have to do is we actually need to split these events. So there needs to be an on move turret controller and an on move turret mouse event. So we're going to save those. We're going to go up here. We have this on move turret controller. We're going to duplicate that line and say mouse. Okay, we're going to save that. Now we have handle turret movement controller, where we're taking in an aim direction. But when we get the mouse, we actually want to do similar to what we had. But instead of aim direction, we're going to do mouse position. And then we don't need an if statement. Actually, we do. No, we don't. So we do have to put that other, we need a target direction. Well, we'll just call it aim direction because it's already in here. So aim direction equals math or no, not math f, equals, was it vector, is it vector 3? Mouse position minus transform dot position. And then our target angle and our rotation step and all that stuff is here. So save that. So I also feel like handle turret movement mouse, well, it was handle turret movement. I feel like that was called in an update before, but I'm going to let that go for now. Let's just go test this. Well, I have to reassign some stuff over here first. So my player input now has on move turret controller and on move turret mouse. So these are actually going to call the tank controller methods handle turret movement controller and handle turret movement mouse. And then I should be able to run this. I have my turret speed set really low though. I'll have to fix that, but okay. Level start. And okay, mouse position does absolutely nothing. Controller, I managed to break. Okay. So let's turn this back up to 140. Yeah, well, I did have that part working. Oh, you know what? Do I need to normalize it? Because I turned that off. So on handle, let's see, was it on player input? We did. We passed in the player aim controller dot mouse. Oh, I know what else I didn't do. That's not normalized. So this one needs to say if. No, it really doesn't. I don't need to pass in the delta of the mouse. Let's see. So save that. So this part here worked for So aim direction equals mouse position minus transformed opposition. Target angle equals the aim direction y and x times that. Rotation step is turret speed times time to delta time. Turret rotation equals turning and rotate towards from the rotation to the Euler angle 0, 0 target angle based on a rotation step, which is this turret speed times time to delta time. So that should work, although it wasn't a moment ago. Wait, did I need to assign? Hold on. No, that's just on cannon can't shoot stuff. So yeah, the player inputs was the only place we needed to we did update the script, right? Should be additional, yeah, because it had to implement it, right? So we have on aim controller, on aim mouse. Yeah. And then we implemented those in the player interface. So when we get those, we do get turret movement mouse and get, oh, huh, I did them backwards. Because I'm stupid. Copy this, paste this, and then we'll just change this one to controller. Okay, save that. So we're doing a controller for that one, in which case we're passing in the aim controller.read value vector2, and then on the get movement mouse, we're passing in mouse's current position.read value, and then we're handling those differently, those values differently in the controller. And I think we might be onto something now. Also, did I change that value back for the turret rotation? Okay, it's at 140. Select level, start. Okay. Okay, well, that is not perfect. So it's still doing the thing where it doesn't continually update. Maybe it just needs to move faster for the mouse. I'm not sure which. The controller part, it's a little janky, but it's like working. And it could, in theory, just be the stick on this controller. Let me try a different one. And I has a Twitch notification. Oh, I unlocked a new achievement for streaming for so many hours or something. Okay, I'm not worried about that right now. Oop. Yeah, so let me, I gotta take the batteries out of this controller before I plug it in. Those are not rechargeables. I think I need to program in my own dead zone on the movement because it's extremely sensitive. And also my right stick on this controller seems to be better. Well, maybe not. So, no matter how I do this, it only continues to move if I'm moving the joystick. So, which I guess is okay. And for some reason, my right trigger stopped working. Or doesn't work on this gamepad. That's kind of weird. Sorry, my battery cover on the floor. Could be that I just need to reconnect the controller. So also notice the haptics didn't activate when I plugged it in. Ooh, I think this controller's been abused a little bit. Oh, now it's working. Okay, so there my trigger's working. But yeah, there's like no haptics on this controller. Oh wow, I wasn't even touching it. Okay. So yeah, the dead zone is like ridiculous. And the mouse thing is just like I have to continually move the mouse in that direction to get it to go. Yeah, I don't know. Something still ain't right. So like I'm getting a direction from the... That's the same difference as getting a delta. So maybe that didn't fix anything. That's interesting. Cannot find active control after binding resolution. I don't know what that's about. I think it's because I unplugged the controller. But the trigger is working now. I mean, as long as the tank can actually fire, which is fine. There's something else I was just gonna look at, and I forgot what it was. Let me see. Oh, yeah, I was going to do player input actions. I was going to do a processor on the gamepad stick. Or on this, I guess. So I'm going to do a stick dead zone, and I'm going to override the default. Min and max. and then I'll probably have to restart the game. Yep. Ooh, I need to do that on the movement more so than the turret. So what I need to do is get that angle, and then I need to say, as long as that turret is not equal to that angle or within a threshold of it, then it needs to keep rotating. See, but holding the stick over, that should actually just keep the fact that I'm holding the stick, it should be calling that method. Let me examine this some more. Okay, so something else I'm doing different is yeah, so one thing it does that I really just don't like is the fact that you can't, it doesn't keep updating the position. If you hold the stick, it moves a little and stops. If you stop moving the stick, it needs to continue to move until the angle is within a threshold. So I think what I need to do is in this, not this, in the tank controller, I think I do need an update method. And I need a turret, I need an aim threshold. So I'm just going to duplicate this, and I'm going to say turret aim threshold, and I'm going to say if, let's do an update. Nope. What in the world? Oh, I have an update method. Never mind. Hold on. So, because before, let me actually just pull this up. So before in the script for the, not this project, in this tank controller, I had Maybe it wasn't on the tank controller. Maybe it was in the player input. Yeah, in the player input, I had an update method for get body movement, turret movement, and get shoot input. But it was checking for the legacy input system inputs and not using method calls or unit events, sorry. So the fact that now and that was in player input. I had an update method that called to get those movements, but they checked for input. So maybe in the tank controller in the update method, I just need to do maybe I just need to cache that target angle. Which is a float. I really can't type with my mic in front of me. So I'm actually just going to copy this. I'm going to get rid of this. We're going to go up here and set this as a private value. And I've got all kinds of weird stuff going on here with my organization of my variables. We're going to set that to 0. Actually, I'm not even going to set it to anything initially. I'm just going to leave it that. And then down here, as soon as we take input from either method, we're going to set the target angle. And we're going to say if I think we're going to do get last input type. I'm going to make this work. This is going to bug me. So I'm going to do a private enum we're going to call this last input type, and we're going to set it to an option of mouse and controller. And then we're going to set a private last input type equal to called, we'll say last input type. Okay. And then we'll say if this is called, actually we'll do it inside the if statement. We'll say last input type equals last input type dot controller. And then if it was the mouse, we'll say last input type equals last input type dot mouse. Okay. Now what we're going to do is go up here into update, and we're going to say if if target angle minus let's see, do I have a reference to, yeah, turret base, to minus turret base dot rotation dot z is greater than turret aim threshold. We'll say if last input type is equal to last input type dot mouse, then call handle turret movement mouse, and I need to pass in, what am I passing in there? The mouse coordinate, right? Handle current throw. That's actually getting this. Actually, I don't even have to pass that. I can just say target angle. No, I can't. I need to, well, I can pass mouse position into that. Maybe I don't want target angle. Maybe I need a last aim direction. No, I just need to save a vector 2 and call it last target vector. Actually, I don't need that. So I need to cache the last target vector in here and here. Mouse position and aim direction. So now, if the last input type is a mouse, we're going to handle turret mouse movement. Else, we're going to do handle turret movement controller with the last target vector. And we're going to try that. After I remember to set a threshold. So now if I flip up, that works. The down doesn't. So it doesn't work perfectly. Although actually that's not, I think it needs a little tweaking, but it's not terrible. With the controller. I'm using the controller right now. So if I just flip a direction with my joystick, now for whatever reason the down directions don't want to work. The up directions work great. And for some reason I'm firing the feels like I'm firing the muzzle flash twice. Like it's lasting too long. I feel like it's firing twice. Muzzle flash effect does not seem to have a timer. I have a destroy helper that I feel like is for that muzzle flash. Actually, let me change this to 0.1. It's not perfect. Although it does consistently, I'm not even touching the joystick for aiming right now, and it's just maintaining that aim direction. So you don't have to constantly aim if you're just trying to aim. Like, you could go up and down here and just try to shoot as you go by. Now your fire rate right now is kind of slow because, okay, so now why isn't my mouse, or was it? Hold on, I didn't even play with the mouse that much. Actually, I don't think it worked right. No, the mouse doesn't work right. Like, it's not. It is not working correctly. So let's look at the code. So my handle turret movement controller does check and see if aim direction dot magnitude is greater than whatever. That's with the controller. That's not really affected by the. So this gets a mouse position. The mouse position goes from. I'm gonna make some spaces here. This is doing two different things. So I'm passing in the last mouse position. Because I'm caching mouse position as the last target vector instead of passing in the current mouse position. So I want to update that. Instead of passing in last target vector on the mouse, I want to pass in mouse.current position dot read value. Let's see what that does. And okay, and I changed something here. I was gonna check it. I'm gonna change that aim threshold to 0.005. Make it a little more precise. Hopefully. Nope. It moves, but it does not move right. Now my joystick. Huh, my joystick don't work right now either. What did I do to it? So why is it not setting something in here all of a sudden? Did I do a bad comparison up here? So target angle minus turret base dot rotation dot z, which is a float, is greater than turret aim threshold. What if I rotate those? Man, that left stick is touchy. I need to add a bigger dead zone to that. See, now it's working for down and not up. On the... And that still doesn't work right. Okay, well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to fiddle with that off stream. Because I feel like anybody that is watching this, I'm just wasting time at this point. So I will live stream again once I figure that input thing out, and then we can focus on other parts of the game. So I need to, and I doubt seriously anybody's even still going to be watching at this point. So I need to get the input fixed, and once we get that done, we'll fix the enemy spawning, which I honestly don't know right now why that doesn't even work. Oh, yes, I do. I absolutely do. I have a game manager, well, level manager script, and I commented out the line of code that spawns in the first enemy. So essentially, we'll see how many new errors we get. Come on. Turn my... There. I want to play audio this time. Well, it won't play until we load a level in, but... And I got a null exception. Why did I get a null exception? Did I not set up spawn points? I did. Why does it say I have a null reference exception to instance of an object on... That's on the spawn point script. So that's interesting. Level manager line 21 calls spawn points random out of the array, add to queue. So it's calling add to queue on a spawn point. And then that spawn point's script has a spawn queue where spawn queue is a new queue. What was our error? Spawn points line 77. .enqueue enemy tank prefab. Enemy tank prefab is set in the inspector on all of these. It's this guy right here. As a matter of fact, it's set on the prefab here as well. So what does it mean, object reference not set to instance of an object? I gotta redo everything I just did. Go into scenes, level 1. Level manager. Spawn points. They're in there. Okay. Spawn point. Spawn point. West, south. Wait a minute. This is wrong. That should be south. That should be, oh, facing direction. Sorry. Yeah, you're a south spawn point. You should face north. Okay. That enemy should be there. Enemy tank prefab. Enemy tank prefab. That actually should probably be a transform instead of a game object, but that's okay. Because then I have to change that and whatever. So on start spawn equals new. You know what? Maybe this needs to be an awake. That might have something to do with it. I can't start on this open scene, so yep. Save, scenes, main, now play. There he is. Now my aiming doesn't work for squat right now, but if I keep moving the mouse down here, it does. But now it's all jacked up. Wonder why he's not shooting at me. Okay, so I got a new error on the enemy shooting. So enemy AI.update line 66. Movement vector current. Okay, so that has to do with enemy movement. That's pathfinding junk. We're not going to worry about that at the moment. I wonder why he didn't shoot at me though. That's interesting. He has a projectile prefab. And I double checked and I set up all the other scripts like we had on him. So on shoot, he does a muzzle flash effect. He shoots audio, or does a shoot audio. Did I set up the handle shoot on his enemy AI script? Yep, tank controller handle shoot on the enemy tank, which is this. Handle shoot. You know what? All those tank controller methods I added also apply to the enemy. That's interesting. And that was why I had to fix all that other stuff earlier, because I forgot about that. So all the stuff I put in tank controller for this turret base rotation stuff also applies to enemies. So anything to do with inputs. So the enemy AI invokes movement and shooting if the target is not null on the player detector and the player detector has a target visible. And I wonder if I set up the stuff on the player detector or if I needed to. So on the enemy prefab, player detector, we have layers, target range, zone layer agent. Now he's not tagged enemy for some reason in this project, but I bet you he is in the other one. So enemy prefab, yep, tagged enemy, layer enemy, and we have a player detector. Oh, the player detector is not tagged, so that's a different thing. So back in my other project, enemy, okay. Player detector, untagged agent, target range 5, check frequency 0.1, player layer mask, visibility layer mask. Makes sense. Huh, that shows up different now. Hittable player, enemy, okay. Don't know why he did not shoot at me, but I did not fix the input thing, so yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna go back to what I said. I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night, and I'll work on this some tomorrow. Once I get this input thing figured out, then we'll come back to figuring out enemy spawning and shooting, and we'll probably add in some more UI stuff, more permanent, like better quality UI for player stats and things like that. Alrighty, if anybody's watching, I will catch you next time. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a follow and all that good stuff.